So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Google Drawings to make flowcharts and mind maps. I am a firm believer in using every tool to its fullest potential. There are a lot of other apps out there for creating flowcharts or mind maps, but why not use a tool you're already familiar with? So to make our flowcharts, we need to add in some shapes that represent different steps along in the process. So if you go up to the Shape tool, and go down to Shapes, you can see what your options are. If you're making an actual flowchart, go down to the bottom and you can see actual flowchart symbols. As you hover over each of these symbols, they show you what they each mean, which is really nice so you don't have to be looking it up all the time. So I'm just going to choose a couple of these to add in just so you can see what they look like, and I apologize, I'm not going to choose things in the correct particular order. So I'm going to choose this one, try a couple others. And a third so I can show you all the connector types. Choose this one. Remember that these are just shapes, so you can edit them like any other shape. You can change the fill color if you want, and you can also change the line color and line width or type if you want as well. So here I have my three parts of my flowchart, and I am going to connect them. To connect your shapes, you want to use the line tool. And when you click on the drop-down arrow next to the line tool, you have some options. The two you use for flowcharts and mind maps are the elbow connector and the curved connector. I usually use the elbow connector for flowcharts and the curved connector for mind maps. So I'm clicking the elbow connector, and I'm just going to click anywhere to add it in because I am going to alter it based on where my shapes are in the process of my flowchart. So there's my connector. If you move the yellow diamond, it's going to change where the connector is located, where it makes its angle. However, it really doesn't matter when making a flowchart because that's going to change once you actually use them as connectors. So when you're ready to connect your shapes, select one of the blue dots at the end and drag it over towards the shape. You'll see as you get close to the shape, there are some purple circles that pop up. These are where the connector will automatically connect. So I'm going to drag it over to the bottom here, and it connects with that one. Now I want to connect this shape, so I'm going to take the other one and drag it until I find a purple circle that I want to connect with. Again, you can move that yellow diamond if you want. Now, in a flowchart, there's a flow, so you usually want to have an arrow to indicate the direction of the flow. When you click on your connector, you see that not only can you change the color, the weight, and the dash, you can also change what it looks like at the start and the end. So when we change that, we have some options, and for flowcharts, I usually use arrows. So I changed the start, and the start shows my flow goes up into the top. That's generally not how I do that, so I want to take that off and change the other end point so it points down to the next step. You can continue to add these connectors, and again, you're going to want to connect it to those particular purple dots. Choose this one here, and again, you can change your end style so that it's pointing in the direction you want. Now you're thinking, well, this isn't so fancy. However, when you use connectors, move your shapes around and look at what happens to your connectors. The connectors also move with the shape because you put them on those purple dots. Works for any of those shapes, and the connectors also change themselves based on where you move the shape to. So I'm going to move these out of the way just to show you a quick example of a mind map, but that's pretty much all you need to know to make a flowchart. You just put in the shapes that you need in whatever order you need. So very quickly, a mind map that I'm going to make, I'm going to use the circle-ish tool to make my mind map. I'm going to copy and paste it so you can see. With the mind map, what I usually do is use the curved connector add that in, and do the same process here. Look for a purple dot and look for a purple dot, and again you can move them around. With the mind map, I don't add the arrow in because usually the mind map is designed in a particular way. Now my last little tip is to double click in a shape. When you double click in a shape, it makes it a text box, and you can type in whatever you want inside that text box. When you have your text in there, you can change the formatting, like the font, and whether or not you want it centered. And that is as easy as it gets. Again, when you move them around, that text is going to move along with it. One little last tip is sometimes you can't get the text to edit. Usually clicking does it, but if you can't get the text to edit, you can also right click on the shape and you can click edit text, and that will allow you to edit the text within that particular shape. So that is how to use Google Drawings to create flowcharts and mind maps.